Hey everyone, Matt here from Docs Running, and today we're going to do a sub 3 review on the Hoka Cielo Road. So this is Hoka's 5K 10K racer. We've seen some images of it for a little bit, and now it's finally here. And I was excited to get it on my feet. I was more excited to actually run in it once I picked up the pace, and I was like, wow, this is actually really good. So let's talk about what this thing is, who it might be good for, and what it might be good for. So coming in again, spec-wise, Hoka's now going with size 10 for all its standard sizing, and this one's unisex. So size 10 is 7.5 ounces. I've heard men's size 9 is 6.8. My size 10 was 7.4 ounces, somewhere in there, on the lighter side for sure. It is 33 millimeters in the heel, 30 in the forefoot for a 3 millimeter drop, and that is definitely how it feels. It has a full-length PIBA midsole. It definitely feels like a super foam underfoot. No plate in here. It's still a little bit stiff and certainly snappy underfoot, which is really, really nice. The upper is this see-through mesh, and it fits just a little bit snug throughout. The toe box was wider than I was expecting, but it's definitely a Snug Racing Fit throughout. I did have to lock the laces down a little bit, but that was fine. And no heel counter. Those people that have issues with heel counters, don't worry, you'll be fine here. But once you lock laces down, totally secure. Turning, getting on a little unstable terrain seems to be fine. I'll talk about why that might be in just a second. But yeah, very much a racing style fit. The midsole is where all the magic happens. I really enjoyed this because, again, there's no plate and it's 33 millimeters here, but this PIBA foam feels the way I wanted the Rocket X2 to feel, where yes, that thing feels a little stiffer in the forefoot. This has a nice bounce to it. Kind of reminded me of the 5k-10k 9, but a softer ride and a lot more bounce underfoot, which is really great. And it feels best for 5k 10k efforts. I think a lot of people, based on how much foam's here, will be able to take this for a half marathon, although some might choose the Rocket X2 or other super shoes. I'm really enjoying this for faster efforts. It's kind of like the shoe I would have wanted if you told me 10 years ago what was going to happen. Like, hey, just give me kind of that traditional racing flat, but give me a super foam. Nice bounce underfoot. That low drop is very noticeable, but it has enough of that stiff and a little rocker that takes a little of the edge off once you start running. Smooth ride. The sidewalls here work really well if you need just a teeny bit in the heel. I'm sorry. And there's mild sidewalls in the forefoot. So overall, not a stability shoe, but just enough for such a minimal, relatively shoe. And like I said, 400s, it's worked really well for hill repeats. I have done a partial tempo run when it was way too hot, and it works great. I just almost died with heat. So really nice short distance racer that some people are going to be able to take a little bit longer. And don't worry about the fact there's no plate. Plenty of traction underfoot. It's still a little stiff, and I think it's going to work for road, for track for sure. And then if you want, like in Southern California, we don't usually use spikes for cross country, but if you want a cross country racer that's not super high, doesn't have a plate, and still has that super foam, this might be a really good option for you.